It is 8/2/2013. This is my opiate recovery video journal. I will be trying to get off of Suboxone. I've been an opiate addict for almost 3 years now. My peak usage, I was somewhere near $500 to $1,000 a day in oxycodone 30s, which I smoked off of tinfoil. So, my highest usage was probably 20 of them a day, but every single day for at least 2 years. I made it onto subs a few times. My longest time in outpatient rehab was around 90 days. But I got back into them because my girlfriend hadn't quit completely yet, and I got tired of getting them for her and watching her do them. I've been on subs now for 107 days, and I need to get off them because I don't just want to spend the rest of my life on Suboxone because it makes me feel completely unmotivated. I'm not the same person. I used to be the most motivated person I'd met. I could accomplish anything. Now I'm coming off of the opiates for the last 107 days, and I'm still sitting on the couch staring at the wall trying to figure out how to get to work. I own my own company. I have for 12 years. It's an internet-based company. It takes a lot of dedication to do what I do, so if I'm not up and working all day long, then I'm not making money. So I have to get off these, or I'm going to be living in a Frigidaire box soon. My plan for the Suboxone is going to be Tramadol, because cold turkey and tapering down to even a 16th isn't realistic. It's too painful. I can't take it. And I just won't make it. I've tried it too many times. I've seen too many people fail, so I've done my research, and I think Tramadol's the answer. And I know there's going to be the people out there who say Tramadol's a worse addiction than this, and blah, blah, blah. It's whatever. Yeah, maybe if I did Tramadol for 2 months straight at high dosages, yeah, I'd probably get hooked on it, but I'm not going to do it more than 2 weeks. I'm going to limit the dosage to the minimum. So all the haters can fuck right off. I'm doing this basically to motivate myself more than anything. Maybe give somebody else some help if they want to try to use the same method, and maybe if it doesn't work, they can see it doesn't work. I have been using about 3/4 of a sub, so full sub is 8 milligrams, so around 6 milligrams a day. And I've been tapering down over the last month from 3/4 down to about 1/8 a day, probably quarter, if I'm not feeling really good. So I'm down to probably the lowest dosage that's really going to affect me today, and I figured I'd start now since this is where the exciting shit starts. I am going to just, I took my last dosage last night, and it's actually early in the morning. I just stayed up all night, and I figured I would get as tired as I could and then pass out and then sleep as long as I could so I could be as far away from the last dosage of Suboxone as possible, since the Tramadol, it's a synthetic opioid, I think they believe they call it, and I'm not sure if Suboxone blocks it or not yet. I believe that they do it to go to the same receptors because I think Tramadol is a selective opiate. So we'll see, but I know that they'll work. The reason I chose Tramadol is because I'd used them over my drug use career in place of Suboxone, and when I was in withdrawals to take the edge off, and they work really good. So, and I've read quite a few doctors that prescribe Suboxone actually use Tramadol to come off. So not mine. I had to get it another way, but I've got it nonetheless, and we'll give it a try. I'm thinking now that I'll probably use the Tramadol for a week to 2 weeks, and then try to come off cold turkey from the Tramadol, since I won't be addicted in that time, but I'll create a long enough stopgap between the Suboxone with the Tramadol to where it's out of my system and I'm through the worst of it. So if it doesn't feel right by the end of a week or 2 weeks to come off the Tramadol, I'll probably switch back to Suboxone just for a few days so I can give my receptors time to wear the Tramadol off. And it's going to be an experiment more than anything. Can't be any worse. If I fuck up, I just go right back on sub. So that's my plan.